Hi, everyone. Welcome to a recorded panel of the 2020 Hill Country Alliance Leadership Summit. I'm Cliff Kaplan, Program Director for the Hill Country Alliance. The subject of this panel is AstroTourism in the Texas Hill Country, Opportunities and Momentum. I'm really thrilled about the panelists we have with us and about our moderator, who I have the pleasure of introducing. Cindy Luongo Cassidy is a leader within the Texas chapter of the International Dark Sky Association, a founding member of the Hill Country Alliance Night Sky team, president of the Hays County Friends of the Night Sky, and the creator of the Texas Night Sky Festival. She was a key player in positioning the city of Dripping Springs to receive the International Dark Sky Community designation, which was the first in Texas. In 2019, Cindy was awarded the Crawford Hunter Award, the highest honor that the International Dark Sky Association bestows to individuals. Thank you, Cindy, and I'll let you introduce the panel.
Thank you, Cliff. And welcome, everyone. I'm really glad that you've joined us for this panel discussion about astrotourism in the Hill Country. I'm not only excited about the topic, but I'm also delighted to talk with the panel members that HCA has brought together for you. Astrotourism has been the focus of more and more travel articles and even a complete guide, and really is a great topic for us here today. Before we start our discussion, let's look at what's really included in astrotourism, because astrotourism has expanded over the last few years to include any tourism that taps into the natural resource of the unpolluted night sky. So it's not just astronomers with their telescopes in tow. It also includes tourists who have chosen to get away from a community that has artificial lights that keep them from enjoying the natural sights and sounds of the night. It also includes tourists who've come to your community for reasons other than to see the night sky, but then they add some nighttime experiences under the stars as some of the things that they do while they're there. It's helpful, I think, in spreading the word about astrotourism to note that there was a study by researchers who are in the economics department at Missouri State University. They documented what now seems pretty logical to me, and that is that astrotourists usually stay more than one night in the area. And because of that, they spend more money than than many other tourists. Not all of them, but many. They also tend to visit when the dark skies are at their best, or certainly better than they are at times, say, during the summer. So they come during the non-summer months, which then help boost tourism throughout the year. Let me introduce our panelists. Michelle Fischer has been the city administrator for the city of Dripping Springs for 20 years. Michelle is pleased to have played a role in the city adopting its very first lighting ordinance in 2000 and in being recognized as the first international dark sky community in Texas and the 6th in the world. She enjoys stargazing in her backyard and while traveling. Our next panelist, Wayne Gosnell, is president of the Blanco County Friends of the Night Sky. He's a retired Army officer and has been working on night sky preservation ever since moving to the Texas Hill Country in 1995. He says that everything he knows about night sky preservation, he learned from me. So what can I say? Patricia Moore is the executive director of the Bandera County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and for more than 25 years has been promoting Bandera County as a destination of choice for visitors from around the world. She's a native Texan and appreciates the value of Bandera County's big skies, bright stars, and natural scenic beauty as a key asset to developing Bandera's tourism product. She's a certified tourism executive and was awarded the Gene Phillips Hospitality Award by the Texas Department of Transportation Travel Division. Welcome to all the panelists. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad you're here. Let's kick off with a question about local tourism businesses in your particular community. I want to know if they appreciate the night skies as part of the tourism draw, and then you might expand on that with what kinds of reactions have they given when the topic comes up. Who would like to start?
You want me to be a guinea pig?
Oh, go ahead, Patricia.
I think it's pretty obvious that Bandera relies upon the natural and scenic beauty of both the earth and the skies to be who we are. The dude ranch industry started in Bandera County over 85 years ago, or right at that. And one of the ranches is still in operation with the same family. Are we directly marketing the dark skies? Not necessarily, but it is an integral part of our tourism program. If you ask people what are they effectively doing to preserve the night skies, you may not get a direct answer that is favorable. However, they're maintaining their culture and the campfire settings and all of the things implicit. We also are very, very blessed to have two state natural areas, Los Maples, as well as the Hill Country State Natural Area. Los Maples even does a forecast for night skies on their website, an actual forecast. And Hill Country is not quite as active, but will be. And then the other thing, helping preserve our natural sky, our naturally dark skies, Albert Bessie Kronkowski Library State Natural Area is due to open soon. So you wrap all of that up, and it is a very implicit part of our marketing program. We like to say it's out of this world naturally. So Excellent. It works, and it's very effective.
Excellent. So are there any other achievements in terms of night skies that your community has reached? And do you know what extent tourism has factored into those efforts?
Well, the tourism, we are forming a an active dark skies friendly community initiative. We already have on the books of the city of Bandera an ordinance pertaining to dark skies. The county passed a resolution years ago, but again, a resolution at a county level does not have the impact of a city. So, and the population of Bandera is less than 1,000. So that impact is not going to be that great. The initiative that we have going, the Friends of the Dark Skies in Bandera County, is working with the school districts, the libraries, and such. And then again, we will take that progress and augment it, and hopefully have presentations that will go out to each of the ranches that can be used.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Wayne or Michelle, would either one of you share with us what your community has achieved in terms of night skies and how tourism has factored into those efforts?
Okay, I'm happy to take that one. So the city of Dripping Springs, we were probably one of the first cities in Texas to have a lighting ordinance back in 2000. And in 2014, we became the first international dark sky community in Texas. And at the time, it was only the 6th in the world. So that brought a lot of attention to the city. What's a little different with Dripping Springs is tourism didn't factor in to our original lighting ordinance at the time, or even applying to become an international dark sky community. It wasn't really something that we were thinking about, but it happened after we became an international dark sky community that we realized, wow, we are getting all this international attention, and we started getting calls. and finding out people were moving here or traveling here because they found out about our ordinance and our dark skies. And so it was a huge impact on the city, realizing that tourism from being in a dark sky community was something that was happening. So we're playing a little bit of catch up still, I think, on trying to figure out ways to partner with local businesses, the Visitors Bureau, and promote events and activities, promote it in our parks. We're really lucky to be close to several parks that have stargazing. We even changed the hours in the city parks from dusk to midnight so that we could allow people to come and stargaze in the city parks, which in the city parks, you can still see the Milky Way. Even in the park that's right next to our local HEB, you can enjoy and see the Milky Way, which is, a lot of places can't say that, I think. So we've also had a lot of developments embrace the night sky and incorporate that in their marketing for subdivisions or commercial properties. It's very common in Dripping Springs to see that being part of someone's marketing materials. And then we're the wedding capital of Texas. And so we've got a lot of venues, special event venues, that enjoy having the dark skies for their venues, which bring a lot of tourists for weddings and different things. And there's a lot of lodging facilities and special event venues that have night sky viewing areas that they've created, or even hold their own star parties. Same thing with some of the subdivisions, hold their own star parties and have their own little stargazing areas in them.
Excellent, thank you.
Sure.
Anyone want to add anything? Wayne?
Well, I can follow up with that. And you know, like I said, everything I've ever learned about this stuff, I learned from Cindy, but right after her is Michelle. From an administrative standpoint and from a legislative standpoint, and I appreciate both of those. One thing Patricia said is that Bandera is only 1,000 people in that little town, and Blanco's and Dripping Springs isn't much, and that's a strength of this whole thing, because you know, we're in a rural community, and rural communities are very different from suburban communities. And it dawned on us, the obvious, that within an hour's drive of Blanco and these other communities are almost 4 million people who live in light polluted urban areas and suburban areas, for whom a weekend out in the country to look at the night skies, among other things, is a real treat. And so that's sort of the mantra that we took to our city council and our other leaders to get behind this. The golden ring that we held out there was what Dripping Springs had already accomplished, and that is designation as an IDA approved international dark sky community. And we worked that through the Chamber of Commerce, and it was an easy sell that here is another thing that can be marketed to our, another attribute from our rural community that can be marketed. Right after that, we started what we call the Night Sky Friendly Business Recognition Program. And that was to recognize businesses within Blanco that had night sky friendly outdoor lighting, to give them recognition, and then for them to serve as an example, something to emulate for businesses that needed to change some of their lighting. And so far, we've recognized 29 businesses in the little town. And we're still working on the others. And then one other thing that Michelle had mentioned, we're working with the Hill Country Alliance on a night sky friendly neighborhood recognition program. And basically that means working with developers before they come in to start building developments around our communities that could potentially spoil that night sky. And if they sign up a little pledge that they're going to require night sky friendly outdoor lighting, then we give them this award. And we've approached 4 developers. 3 of them jumped right on it, and they are now actively marketing themselves as night sky friendly developments. The other one just blew us off, and we're still working on that one. So, you know, there is progress and potential.
Excellent. So it sounds like I'm hearing a lot of anecdotal evidence, certainly, about the growth and interest from those visiting your community. So with that, let's move to what kind of tourism marketing does your community do, if any? And does it include night skies as part of the appeal? Patricia, you want that one, or Michelle?
I'll take it if you want.
Okay.
Obviously, as I had said, we do not do an absolute niche for dark sky marketing. But if you flip through so many of our ads, they focus very directly on the natural assets that you'll find in Bandera County. In fact, as I said, out of this world naturally is the tagline we use for the Texas Parks and Wildlife ad in their guidebook. It's a picture of dark skies, people riding horses through a riverbed, and then a painted bunny, which kind of puts it all together. And we've used that same type of analogy to say, out of this world naturally, for the dark skies, dancing under the stars, all of these things coming together. And that happens here frequently. And again, as I mentioned, the campfiring. We have stayed true to our brand, which is Cowboy Capital of the World. And you can take that in any definition that you want to. Particularly nowadays, you can compare the iron horse cowboys to the four-legged cowboys of yesteryear. And the main reason those folks are riding those iron horses is they want to come out, they want to experience what we have to offer. And particularly now, you can easily see, just as Wayne was talking about, people are gravitating to where they could be in touch with something that's much more natural and enjoyable. So it's a very easy sell, so to speak, and has kept us in being an authentic lifestyle, so that the ranches have been augmented now with numerous cabins throughout the whole the county, and most of those people have the appreciation for the product they offer and are well aware of what needs to be done to sort of maintain that authenticity. So
Excellent. All right. Anyone else have some notes about marketing that's been done, whether it's for tourists or, I know Michelle mentioned people moving to the area because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that's the double-edged sword.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They all, yeah.
I've lived in Bandera County now for 25 years, or closer to 30 actually. And it's the double-edged sword. People move here, they come because they loved it, and then the first thing they do is start putting up the security lights and complaining because the roads may not be paved, and. It's that overriding adjustment. So that's what we're beginning to face, and I think all of us in our area.
Right.
Dripping, I know you have certainly experienced the encroachment of Austin. I drive through Dripping quite a bit.
Michelle, I know you have some subdivisions that particularly market based on the night sky.
We do. We have several. If you go to their websites or Facebook pages, they have it in their marketing materials, some of them very front and center in their marketing materials. We even have a subdivision, Headwaters, that created a stargazing park that won a national award, which is pretty neat. And several of these subdivisions have web pages that are to explain to the residents what it means to live in a dark sky community. We have this ordinance we comply with. Here's what it means. And then they also, a lot of them incorporate things about stargazing and how to do that, or where to go in their community, what parks in their community they can go and see the star. And then several of them occasionally have star parties as well, which is pretty neat. Regarding marketing as a whole, I would say there's not been a very good marketing AstroTourism as a whole in Dripping Springs at this point. It's something that we really want to work on. And just the fact that we're having this panel, I got to talking with our Visitors Bureau director the other day about what we were going to discuss. And she and I realized, kind of came up even with a list of things we could be doing that we're not to be more coordinated. I found out that our Visitors Bureau is working on a website page on places to stargaze in Dripping Springs. And so that's really exciting to include the different parks and private places where you can do that, kind of like they did for birding. It's a very similar activity to birding and attracts the same people to a large extent. So I'm really excited about them getting a page for that will also include city parks. And then our Parks and Community Services Department is really working hard to come up with programs that we can implement in our parks. And one of the ones that we really want to focus on is camping and the stargazing programs that we can have available for people coming to camp in city parks. So those are some of the things we're working on right now that I'm looking forward to. We're also doing a new logo for being an International Dark Sky community that will have to get approved by the International Dark Sky Association. But with that new logo, we will be pushing out some branding and marketing and really trying to encompass the night sky more in the city's identity and our overall branding strategy.
Good.
Thank you. Wayne, are you aware of anything in Blanco that would fit with that marketing?
Well, only to say that Bandera and Dripping Springs are much more sophisticated than we are. It's sort of the same thing. We do mention it in our general marketing that is handled by the Chamber of Commerce. We've got a good Chamber of Commerce. We have a lot of bed and breakfast around, as do other places, and many of them market themselves also. Come and spend the weekend and enjoy the night skies. And so yeah, that's about it. There's no overall night sky exclusivity. In other words, come here it's always as a supplement to the other attributes of the area.
Excellent. I know that all of y'all have been very successful, but with the event that we're working on right now, the Hill Country Alliance Leadership Summit, it's an opportunity that we can learn from each other as we work in our communities. And I wondered if you have anything to share of things that maybe didn't work quite as well, or even ways that when it comes to engaging your local tourism businesses around night skies, what would something maybe that you would do differently?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, and I mentioned it earlier. One of the things, we're all about education, and about education both of tourists, but also of people that move here. City people that move out here and turn on all their lights. Okay, that's an educational challenge, and we're heavily engaged in addressing that. One of the things that we need to enhance what we're doing is our social media, that other than Facebook, we don't know a whole lot about. So that's something that we could have done better from the get-go, and we're trying to correct it.
Excellent, thank you. All right, well, I'm going to move on to what's coming up very soon. And October, as you all know, is the first annual Hill Country Night Sky Month, which is a region-wide celebration of all things night skies. Have you planned anything to help celebrate in your community? And as Night Sky Month grows in the future years, what do you think the potential is to raise the tourism draw to our region?
I'm happy to take that one first.
Go, Michelle.
Okay, so in Dripping Springs, at a recent city council meeting, the City Council approved a proclamation declaring it Hill Country Night Sky Month. So that sort of kicked it off. And then throughout the month, we will be doing social media and website posts and outreach about the night sky and about some of the activities we're doing. We have a Lights Out program that we started for the first year this year that also aligns with the Night Sky Month for bird migration. And I think we've had over 70 people already take the pledge to participate in Lights Out program. And we'll be doing a lighting ordinance virtual presentation for residents. It's one that city staff has given several times to different homeowners associations at their meetings to just sort of educate the general resident in Dripping Springs about our lighting ordinance. And so we'll be doing that in October. And then we plan to support the programs and events of other organizations and what they'll be doing that month, such as the Hays County Friends of the Night Sky, or, you know, Blanco might have something that's so close to Dripping Springs that we want to help promote, and some other communities nearby us. And I think that the Night Sky Month has a huge potential in the future to attract more tourists and resident participation if we can just get the word out about it each year and continually grow on it and promote each other's activities. And then if we can figure out a way to regionally promote the area and the activities we're doing. I think, you know, the Hill Country Alliance is really being helpful with their calendar where you can enter your event on their calendar to get it promoted. But just talking to each other like we are right now is a huge benefit to get ideas of what different groups are doing. I know we're not the only city doing a Lights Out program. I'm pretty sure there's one in Kendall County as well right now, for example. So if we could all work together to promote each other's events, or maybe have a website for it, or Facebook posts that's promoting everybody's events in one place, that would maybe be a real benefit as well.
Excellent. And if I could add, you mentioned the Lights Out program. A lot of that is in concert with the Audubon Society. And I'll note that the International Dark Sky Association and Audubon have just launched a partnership with doing work that will protect the birds by controlling lighting, especially during migration season. So that's something that gets all the birders and the night sky people and those of us who are both all connected. So great thing to promote in our area that's being done. Anything else there?
In Bandera, actually, we're just now really farming a Friends of the Dark Skies group in our county. But I will tell you that we will be doing a photo contest, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, via Instagram to start a greater awareness and open to Bandera County residents and promoted across our channels with our social media, and that should be successful. We did a nature one a couple of months ago. That worked. We also, as the group, are doing something different, encouraging quilters to turn in individual quilt blocks that will be converted into a quilt that we will have at our resources. And of course, the quilt blocks, the focus will be the dark skies. So that will be interesting. And several, I'm fairly certain before the month of October ends, we will have at least one, if not several, sky parties planned. So we're moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Patricia. Goodness. Another event, and I'm going to give Wayne an opportunity to tell us what Blanco is doing for October Hill Country Night Sky Month.
Similar things. We have the proclamations both at the city level in Johnson City and Blanco, and at the county level. We're doing a social media outreach. At Blanco, as many communities, we have a once a month market days. We're going to have an information booth there. We're trying to get a sun scope to set up because telescopes always attract people.
Mhm.
And then next week, we're doing a taping session with LBJ National Historic Park. They have an application in to become an international dark sky park. And so we were scheduled to go out and have a star party on the runway. And of course, the virus got in the way. So we're going to be recording a presentation that we take out to the public, and we'll do that under the auspices of the National Park Service and do that up at the LBJ location in Johnson City. And all that will be done and released, hopefully, in time for the October Night Sky Month.
Excellent. Lots of good activities. And I'm sure Cliff would love it if I tell you to go to the Hill Country Alliance website and find the information on this event. There's a whole calendar of things going on. Another major draw to our region is going to be the total solar eclipse in the spring of 2024. I know that I have been to multiple solar eclipses around the world, and that those communities spend years preparing for those events. So I wondered what our communities here in the Hill Country have started to plan for this influx of people that we expect in the Hill Country, because it's going to be coming right over us. We'll be right in the path of totality. And people do come for that, and come sometimes a week in advance, and enjoy the night skies and get in place so that they don't have to worry about the crowds coming and going. And they look for places where lights won't come on and destroy their images or their seeing of the solar eclipse. So let's talk about solar eclipse time. Michelle, would you like to start that one?
Sure. The City Parks and Community Services Department is working on plans for how we're going to handle the influx of people we expect in all of the city parks. So we're aware that we're going to have all hands on deck, probably have to hire some additional help or get volunteers to help fit everybody into the city parks, provide additional hand washing stations, portable toilets, those types of things in the parks that don't have enough right now. We hope to capitalize on that with the RV sites and campsites at Dripping Springs Ranch Park, and work with our Visitors Bureau, who is also actively planning on how to promote and engage the community and prepare our community for the massive influx of people we think will be coming. I mean, we expect all of our local lodging to be completely full that weekend. So we're really excited about it and are looking forward to it.
Excellent. Patricia.
Here in Bandera, this office is trying to lay the groundwork for the swell of population that will be coming to the county. We mentioned that last year in our budget presentation. We will mention it again this coming Thursday in our budget presentation. And I'm currently coordinating with quite a few of the ranches and such. And I am so jealous of Michelle when she speaks in the plural of parks. When I say Bandera is small, it's just 1.5 miles in diameter. So that's where the smallness comes in, factor-wise. It will be some major challenges ahead of us. I researched extensively Madras, Oregon. That's where my brother and sister-in-law spent the last total eclipse. And there will be major challenges upon us for that, and major successes, we hope, too. But Bandera is used to influxes of major populations, so this will just be on a much grander scale.
Big scale. Excellent. Thank you.
Exactly.
Wayne?
Our Chamber of Commerce has a committee that's looking forward to that, but not much. I tell you, there's a lot of preparation. People have no idea what's going to happen. I went like you, I went up to see the last solar eclipse that came through. We headed towards to Wyoming. We ended up in Tennessee hunting good weather, and we found it. But oh my goodness, it was chaos up there, and it's coming because it's going to come right over us. So it's a matter of education of the people who need to start making some preparations.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle's way ahead of us on that.
I don't feel like it. I really don't.
Okay, buy your solar eclipse glasses now.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Get ready. Get ready. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, had to have a little fun there. We have about 4 minutes left. So I want to thank all of you to start with, but I also want to give each of you a chance to leave one parting message. Is there something that you want to make sure that the audience hears before we wrap up this discussion?
Okay, I'll jump in, and it just sort of a mini elevator speech, and basically it's about night sky preservation in general. And sometimes when you're talking about this stuff, people say, okay, that's just another tree hugger, squawking, flapping their up in the trees, and so the challenge is to become from that image of a tree hugger to a protector of the rural environment. And when we're talking about promotion of night sky tourism in the rural environment, that's exactly where we want to be. And we say, okay, this thing about light pollution, if you look at pollution in general, of all of the types of pollution that mankind has foisted upon this earth, light pollution is the easiest and cheapest to solve, to fix. And it can be done in our own lifetimes. We can get back in our own lifetimes the night skies that our ancestors had in this area of the Texas Hill Country if we just do it, and what a draw that would be for tourism.
Thank you.
So I would,
Michelle.
I'd piggyback on that. I agree with what Wayne said, that I think the most important thing for the protection of the night sky and to continue to make it a resource for our residents and tourists is education. And I think Wayne brought that up earlier as well. But to me, that's the real key, is to continually educate, because you're going to continually have new businesses, new residents locating, new tourists in the area, and to really try and make that a constant point in your messaging and your marketing of the community, so that you continually reach out to new people to make them aware and hopefully educate them about the importance of preserving the night sky.
Thank you. Patricia.
Just ditto what both Wayne and Michelle have said. AstroTourism, let's hope, is here to stay with our rural initiatives in all categories that bring successful tourism to the region.
Oh, a round of applause for all of you. Yay. Thank you so much. Y'all have been great to have on this panel discussion, and I thank you very much. It's a topic near and dear to my heart, and y'all have been wonderful today. So Cliff, I'm going to bring you back and let you wrap it up.
Well, thanks so much, Cindy, and thank you, Wayne and Patricia and Michelle. I've really enjoyed listening to this, and I want to thank everyone at home who's been watching this as well. Thank you all. I hope you enjoy the rest of the Leadership Summit. And I guess I'll join Cindy in making a quick plug for Night Sky Month. It starts on October 1st and runs through the month. And to learn more about that, you can go to nightskymonth.org, and you can also find it on the Night Skies page of the Hill Country Alliance website. So thanks again to our whole panel and to Cindy for moderating, and everybody enjoy the rest of the summit.